The goal of this stream is we're going to be going over the top mods for February from Stardew Valley Nexus. If we go over to Nexus, the Stardew Valley homepage, and if you scroll down to more mods, you're going to see different tabs. The one we're going to be focusing on for this stream is the popular over the last 30 days. We're going to be skipping over the fashion sense mods for this live stream, but we are going to be covering a lot of these other mods that you see here. So guxelbit's furniture is a alternative textures furniture mod that replaces the luxury bookcase, the dressers, and the end tables with different varieties that will let you customize your home a little bit more with the same exact item. And I'll kind of go over the alternative texture framework as we hop into the game. For guxelbit's furniture, we can take a look at the bookcases, dressers, and end tables. The bookshelf, it's going to be the luxury bookshelf, but if you ever want to see the different alternative textures available, when you have the alternative textures mod downloaded, you can pick up the texture catalog in Paint Bucket from Robin. To get the menu up, you're going to select the texture catalog and then left click. And then when you do that, you're going to see all the different alternative texture items that are available. So it won't show every item in the game, just the ones that you have alternative textures available for. We know from the mod page, we know we can go ahead and start with a bookcase. So for guxelbit's furniture, we can see that he's taken the luxury bookcase and offered a few different varieties that will, in my opinion, like be really nice for decorating your home in various ways. We have here one that is like a really good china cabinet set, a good pantry set, even one that would make like for a good wardrobe. If you are going through the catalog and you like some of these options, then I highly recommend taking your paint bucket, select that, and then you don't have to be next to the item, but you do want to select the base of the item. You'll see here that all those options we saw in the catalog are available, as well as some of the options that are more vanilla in texture. So the vanilla texture is still available here through the catalog, but we can go ahead and start selecting some of these other ones. Let's say you had this bookshelf in the kitchen and we wanted it to kind of act like a china cabinet of sorts. So with the paint bucket selected, let's go ahead and select one of these china cabinet options. So we'll see here that it's really easy to switch between the different ones that is available through the alternative textures mod. And you can do this literally whenever you want. As long as you have the paint bucket tool, you can just left click away on anything that has an alternative texture available. If you didn't want a china cabinet, but you wanted a pantry instead, then this mod also has some really good items here. So we'll see there's some bread, maybe some jam, honey. And then we also saw that this bookshelf could maybe work as a wardrobe from this pack. We see that there are several wardrobe options available. The dresser was also a part of this pack, and we'll see that there are several really cool options for this as well. There is what seems to be a salt and pepper shaker, so this would be good for a dining room, and then bread and some coffee and tea kettle. Books, so this could be acted as a little mini bookshelf, and then a phone. You'll see that there's actually some wardrobe options, so if you wanted to emulate having a clothesline wardrobe, then that is one of the options available here as well. This mod author has made it so all of the dressers are available. And then this mod author also made sure to do the end tables. So I have some end tables here already. So again, I'm going to take my paint bucket and left click on the base of the item. They made a couple different variations for the end tables. So it looks like we have one that's sort of plates, and we have a couple options for the plates we'll see. This seems to be clothes. We got some books here. Variation of the end table with different door frames. Let's look at the next one. This is available as an alternative textures mod or content patcher mod. When it's one or the other, I do tend to recommend using the alternative textures mod because it lets you just be able to pick and choose within the game, whereas Content Patcher will kind of just replace that item's texture. So if you know you always want to use it, then you can obviously use Content Patcher, but otherwise I do recommend using the alternative textures mod. for this one, it lets you change the basic window. And if we hop in back to the game, I can show you. It lets us change the basic window to one that looks like an open window. We can see the basic windows here, and then this mod here. So these are 4 basic windows all right next to each other. And again, we're going to use the paint bucket. We have a door that looks like it's opening, or if you just want it to look like a closed window, they have a variation of that as well. So this one, it looks more like a window frame rather than an open window that we see here on the right side. If we wanted to, we can just make this look like a closed window by making sure we select the appropriate curtain and window frame. And now it just looks like a giant closed window. One other thing to note, if we go back to the mod page, we'll see that the window will change by the season. So the next mod we're going to cover today is QMI's Alternative Portraits. And this is alternative portraits using the Content Patcher framework, which again, the Content Patcher framework just replaces the textures. So if you want a quick preview of all of the NPCs this mod author has replaced in the game, if you scroll down on the description page and you click show, you'll see a preview of all of the NPCs portraits, and they are so adorable. I absolutely love this style. They even have one for Grandpa, but I especially love George. George just looks absolutely adorable. But let's go hunt for some NPCs in the game. There we go. And then we'll see here, this is the portrait that has been replaced through this mod. So portrait mods are a really good way to kind of add variety to the basic Stardew Valley portraits that are available in game. So Abigail's portrait is super cute in this. I like that addition. And then Caroline. So the next mod we're going to check out is a White Totoro Rabbit Replacement. So this mod will replace the baby and grown-up rabbit in the coop with a white and grown-up Totoro, inspired by the movie, obviously, My Neighbor Totoro. So I have all of my rabbits in this coop right here. And then we can see the little Totoros. Oh my god, they're so adorable. They still kind of look like rabbits, right? But, you know, that Totoro theme is super adorable. That is all there is to this mod. It's using Content Patcher just to replace the texture. So again, Content Patcher is just a really nice kind of default framework to have in your arsenal for when you're starting to test out some mods. Kind of hopping straight into the next one. Let us look at the Firefly Torch. So this changes the torches in the game to be an animated firefly texture instead. Kind of a cute way to bring a little bit more ambiance to your farm, the firefly textures. So these were normally torches in front of my fish ponds, but now they are just little sprinkly lights. So let's hop into the next one, which is another alternative textures mod. This one is focusing on changing some of the default items in the game to be items that you can use within the greenhouse. So we'll be checking out some of these items. I have some ready in the greenhouse, but there is one I want to show you. So I showed this open window earlier, but the flower pots next to it are not of the open window mod. They're of this garden set mod. The texture catalog you pick up from Robin. We're going to select that, left click. If we go into the jungle decal, we'll be able to see curtains with flower pots on them. So if we take our paint bucket, we can left click and be able to either turn it back into a jungle decal, or we can select from the array of options this mod has given for curtains with flower pots, or you can just do flower pots. So I wanted to hop into the greenhouse, which there'll be a little spoiler when we hop into the greenhouse. And then we'll see here that the bookcase is kind of these garden benches. So if I left click again, we can either go back to the artistic bookcase, or we can select the same garden bench but in different color schemes. So if I wanted a pink garden bench, that is an option. Dried sunflower can be an array of different tall plant textures. I really like this one. I like it when plants have different color variations within the same plant. I think it's more visually interesting. They have some on the smaller side as well, so this plant would be kind of nice maybe in a dining room or somewhere more formal. And then here is the exotic tree. So this is the Stardew Valley default, but they have provided this tree in either a black base or a wood base. I really like this exotic tree. I kind of like the muted toned down textures that this one offers. And then here we have the end tables. In the greenhouse set, we'll see that they've actually changed these end tables to kind of work like one set of tables you can put together. So we have ends and middles. What I've done for this showcase is I just took 2 end tables. One of them I rotated around to kind of make this glass table. So this would be a really good alternative to get a small table in your dining room. But we can change this to maybe be a wood table instead. And now we got a nice little small wood table. This mod also changes the small crystal to be small plants. And then there is quite a few varieties here. And then this mod also changes the stump stool to be kind of more formal looking stump stools. And then kind of a crate too. So this would be a good way to like kind of fake storage in your Stardew Valley greenhouse. And let's move on to what you've already gotten spoilers for, which is the relaxing greenhouse. One thing to keep in mind if you're checking out this mod is it does have some requirements for content patcher, as well as some tile sheets that it utilizes to make use of the greenhouse. So if we go back into the game, you'll notice that the greenhouse is very different from the standard greenhouse. This greenhouse basically gives you a little bit more layouts to work with for your garden plots. And then it also makes this fountain in the middle that you see. I love it. And then also this stump, as well as the fountain, they're both usable as water sources for your water bucket. And yeah, this is the relaxing greenhouse. These greenhouse mods add a lot more variety to the standard greenhouse, but we have one more item to check out, and that is the better furnace. So the better furnace adds a new furnace to the game, so it doesn't replace any item, it just adds a new one. And the furnace will use the same amount of coal and ore, it just takes more of those things out so that you can be refining those ores down to bars at a more reasonable rate, and then you don't need as many furnaces to refine as well. We'll see the better furnaces here. So if I get myself some ore and then I have some coal available, let's go ahead and throw some of those in. So let's throw these in, and then we'll see that it again used the appropriate amount, just times 5 of what the standard one used. And then when we pick it up, we have 5 refined ores instead. Again, this is a nice way to limit the amount of furnaces you have while still being more productive in the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little quick mod showcase. And if you ever want to see more mod spotlights, then check out my channel. I post videos, I'll be doing live streams, and then I'll also be doing some short spotlights as well. I'm Yoria, and I hope to see you again. Bye.